Excuse my messy desk. All right. Oh yeah, I turned a little glare light off. I actually use this light to when I'm not even when I'm recording. I just use it to light up my work area here. So Lazello points out, thinks that the hypnotic effect here is a little too much, and I think it might be. But I put it on its own layer. So here it is without. Whoops. Let's actually zoom in so you can see it. Here it is without. And here it is with. Whoops. I don't know. I mean, it's not great, but I was just wondering maybe I do need something back there. You know, and that's probably more of the cave wall. A lot of times you're just trying to figure out like what tricks can I use. Another trick I could use, and I saw Francisco Ruiz do this. Hang on. I just realized I have some stuff here. This is a like a trick from the Archies. I'll put it on its own layer. Let's do a plus. There it is. We're gonna call this the Archies layer. Rename Archies. Is you go borderless. Like we're gonna assume that the borders are back. Let's do that. Let's take the border for panel 1 and move it. There's panel 1 border. And cut and paste. Okay, so now it's on its own layer, and we just turn it off. So now we have no border. And actually that looks okay. That looks okay. With no background, everything is fine. But here's the Archie's trick. Is you could just do like an abstract shape kind of behind everything. Well, I didn't do a very good job here. But do like, when I say abstract shape, like a geometric shape. In this case, we'll do like a diamond. And, wait, I gotta put it behind everything. And then I've got to do something like that. And just erase it so she's still foregrounded up. This one is not in the Wally 23, 22 or 23 panels. 22 panel designs that always work. Wally I get quite a lot out of that. There we go. Or if I put a little white outline around her. And my other figure. My other concern is I'm only doing black and white. I'm not doing gray tones on this particular comic because 2 reasons. One of it is it's going to be in color ultimately. But the other reason is because it's not being used like that anywhere else, right? So nowhere else in the comic are we going with gray, so we don't want to start changing it now. You can get like a process color, which is kind of cool. If you look at Darwin Cook's Parker the Hunter, he uses a process blue, I think, or for the volume I have, which is Parker the Hunter. He does like a blue tone backing his black and whites, and he uses that a lot actually. I did a bunch of investigation into Darwin Cook's style, and Like the stuff he did for the Golden Age, all the sketches he did, he used the same um, kind of using like a maybe a light shade or a pastel shade behind his inks. And the Golden Age is really good. You know, it's kind of funny. Was trying to figure out why is this so good. Who's the writer on this? Well, it's also Darwin Cook, and he even writes like a forward about it. You know, it isn't very often that you'll get to do both. Oops, to go be the artist and the writer. But when you do, the result is always better. I truly believe that. I know a lot of people disagree with that. They go, "Oh, I want to be a writer and not do the art," you know, or they think it should be separate. And I think that's truly incorrect. It's not in the um, the best practices for actually creating a cohesive work of art. Collaboration is actually quite hard. There are some times where you can do collaboration. One of the great examples in my mind is Eastman and Laird doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Um, but it wasn't like Eastman did the art and, and Laird did the story. They all did both. That's why it worked, you know? And also, I like the idea of an artist working with input from an editor. And we could definitely say that's the case with Spider-Man and Steve Ditko. But you could also say it's the case with Toriyama. Why is, you know, and Toriyama says it himself. He's got plenty of um, evidence for that, where he talks about input from the editor. In fact, the whole reason we have Dr. Slump is he first did this something called, I think it was Tomato the Cutesy Gumshoe, and they said, this is pretty good. Make sure to do why don't you do something with a female character? And he said, okay, fine. So we're giving this kind of a graphic arts 60s graphics arts look with the an offset. Maybe 1950s graphic arts. And it's quite good. And you might be thinking, but what if I'm not good at writing and I'm only good at doing art? Well, you can learn to do both, is my opinion. Okay, let's bring back the. I don't think it works when you go full harsh. I think maybe that's even what Luzella said, as she said. It doesn't work when you go all the way in. Gotta have something back behind her. But that's the concept there. You would just put an abstract shake behind. I don't think it works. That's okay. We'll get rid of that RGC layer. Um, I am starting to like it without the background, though. If we pull the background panel off, it doesn't matter that there's no background to it, and that seems to be okay. I don't know. We'll let that sit for a while and decide, if we like it. Am I on the ink layer? I'm on the ink layer. Okay. Let's see what it looks like with the I kind of like the hypno swirl. We'll take it back out for right now. I'm actually quite fond of how I'm doing the cave walls now. There we go. Put a little Kirby squiggle on there. I think that it's okay to even if you don't, let's say you don't draw at all, to just go ahead and give it a try, and you'll get better over time. And the other thing is, there's no like house style in indie art. There's no style that you have to look like. And the more you try to standardize it, the more repulsive it gets. I was looking at something and just awful. Like it was lifeless, just lifeless art. You can tell they were just really trying to look like, this is the look of a kickstarted comic in 2023. Make the ground a little uneven, even. Put some rocks. That seems to work. Tarzan seems to look good here, too. I feel like I'm getting close to a cool breakthrough. I found another cool idea that I'd like to try out, and it was I think it was a promotional um, image that had been done for Steve Canyon, and this is Milkaniff, and it was like all the characters, like every single character, all as if you had taken all the characters, even the side characters and minor characters over the years, and kind of crammed them all into a room, and they were all in there, and it was just every one of them, and you could just look at this image. I thought it was really cool. I thought I could do this for my characters too. I have a bunch of characters. That's one thing I do have. It's a lot of dudes, and I would have I'd start out with Rabbit Fighter and Isolt, and then I would have all the pulp characters, Corbeau, Hunga Bunga, um, Scarab Force, Prometheus Powers, and not just Prometheus Powers. Of course, you'd have to include Ptolemy, which is the great librarian, um, Gallows, Topaz, even though I haven't drawn much with her in a long time. Um, Frankenstein character, my Nosferatu character, Maria, um, the orphan. There we go. Let's see how that reads. Looks like Tarzan. All right, good. Maybe that was a little bit too far, but that's cool. And then we could cut some strands out of it, so it's looking good. When you take the pencil lines away is when I seem to get the most done. And I feel like, oh, now you're drawing without a net. I don't even know a net. All right, here we go. Let's do this knife. And I just do it like that. No, I want it to be like an arc, but not a huge arc, a subtle arc. That's too much. Too much. Too much. It's closer. Whereas, Bring back the Ark. How about like something like that? Let's take a look at it without the thing. Tarzan's always called his knife his iron tooth. Sometimes when my mom would go to the library, there was like, there's the kids' library, which you're allowed to check books out. And then there was kind of like the adult area of the library, which you weren't allowed to get books out of. But my mom would every once in a while, she would find Tarzan paperbacks and she would check them out for me. And they had Frazetta covers on them. I remember one where it's him underwater. Come on now. It's not a very good knife. What's going on here? A little bit better. To get out our French curve or something and do like this. Because it's a really subtle curve that you have to try and draw. That seems to work. That's fine. And I think the way I did this is I have, okay, so there's a rough outline and then focus lines, and then we're going to have the, on top, we're going to do the lettering. So let's do the rough outline first. Actually, let's pull the whole thing off. We know the concept. Rough outline is like that. And we're gonna call these lost lines. Like we're not gonna draw the whole side of the arm. We're just gonna lose the line. All right, then we're gonna do focus lines, which is the way I do that is drawing guide. And actually, let's edit the drawing guide. Whoops. Looking at it, I want to put it on a different layer. Let's use that layer 10. Do we ever use it? Oh no, if we use it, it's going to have that stuff on it. So let's get rid of layer 10. Let's use another layer. All right, here it goes. Focus line time. Oops. I'm going to give plenty of halo to the knife here. We don't want to cover the knife up or even go too close to it. So I'll make sure I'm using the right brush. Okay. Like if I had had the rusty nib set when I started Tarzan, this is definitely where I would be switching off to the like the Wally Wood um, nibs. You know, something with a little bit more noise in it. But I think it looks pretty cool. And then we just erase everything that falls outside the panel border. We get rid of. There we go. Then this should show Tarzan getting overwhelmed by a spell. You know, even though we got the lost lines, we're not showing, you know, beyond his neck or anything like that. That's him getting spell blasted. Take a look here. All right, so yesterday there was no drive-in Saturday. Sorry, everyone. I was at a wedding, my older son. So congrats to Noah and Beck. Who I really know as Becky. Let's see. We could even do a little bit more with this kind of rough outline. Let's hang on. Let's take off the drawing guide. Am I on the right? I should be on the right. Oh, it's on the stupid. Okay, it's on the ink layer. I'm trying to figure why is it not doing anything. We're gonna put some more crackling energy coming off of this. And still not breaking outside the panel border. Oh, that's definitely on the ink side. All right. How do we do this one over here somewhere? Okay, and then we get rid of. And at some point, you just kind of fold them all together because they're just getting annoying. All the different layers. But there we go. We got this, but we got a sound effect still. Fix. So here's our sound effect. It's in layer 2. I'm going to do it on layer. We're getting rid of layer 10. Let's get a new layer up. Is that my new layer? All right, because it's going to throw me off, I'm going to reduce the opacity temporarily while I draw this. So you gotta Don't sleep on the lettering. I have bad handwriting. I think there's a hole in my brain where all the lettering penmanship disappeared out of, and then I had to like relearn it at a later age. But my approach now is to try and draw it as if it's something you're drawing. All right. We're so close. Been a tangent on that sweat droplet there. It's untangented. I'm always sad when I come to the. I'm not close to the end here, but close to the end of a comic page, because then you know what I got to do is draw another comic page. Sad when I come to the end of a comic because I've got to start working on my next comic. You know, when you're putting it aside. But it really is the volume that matters. So, okay, let's take a look at it with layer 2 is back out. Layer 11 is back up. It's unreadable. That's okay. And bring up white. There's G. Got a break. Y. There we go. E. It's tangenting really bad off of that. There we go. It's a little bit better. A. R. G. H. Oh, there's some ugly stuff on this H. And this other H is. All right, let's try it. There we go. Same thing. I got some stuff I need to fix. Okay, now we hope Jake takes the bait and colors that in a contrasting color. In fact, I'll just tell him I want this inner circle to be kind of light colored or white. Outer color can be something else, but and then contrast it real hard up in here. Now let's take a look at my knife here. All right, and that is a panel. What did I just screw up? Oh, we're still on pencils. Okay. Cave wall. It's not exactly a straight line. And then we'll have Nala peeking out from behind the cave wall. Right. I'll continue working on this. My monitor's just shut off. Hopefully it captured the whole thing. Please like, follow, and subscribe. There will be more comics every day. I think we might be able to finish Tarzan pretty soon. And then we're going to go into the next thing, which I think is going to be something with robots, but maybe not. All right, talk to you later.